Right, you are. We need English for our future. Very good. Now, I think you all know English is described as an international link language, right? English is the language of commerce. English is the language of technology. English is the language of science, right? And now we live in a world where people easily communicate with each other, and for that common language we need English, right? So we should have the right attitude to English, right? Now let me ask you, let me ask you, what should be your attitude to English? How you should learn it? Definitely your answer should be that we should learn English properly with two goals, right? You should have two goals. One is short term goal, immediate goal, and the other is long term goal. That means primarily you are learning English because it is a subject in your curriculum. You have to score good marks, you have to pass the exam. That is your primary purpose or your short term goal. And I, as a teacher, will do the best I can to help you. But apart from this, every learner, every student, or those who love English should have a long term goal. Now, when I was a student, I had this goal. What is the goal? We need English not only in our academic life, we need English in our real life, right? That means we have to communicate with people across the globe. We have to communicate with people who do not know your mother tongue or your own language. That's why we need English. So we need English in our real life. And for that purpose, we should learn English not only to pass exams, but we should develop communicative skill, right? Communicative skill. Now, let me know what is the meaning of skill. Right, right. Skill means the ability to do something well, right? So, if you claim that I have scored good marks in English, that is very good. You have academic excellence, you have studied sincerely, and that's why you have secured good marks. But skill means something else. Skill is not always scoring good marks. Skill means your ability to do something well. And when English is concerned, skill means your ability to communicate well, right? Your ability to communicate well, right? So we have got four skills in learning English, right? Reading, writing, speaking, listening. And out of these four skills, there are two skills which we badly need এর মধ্যে দুটো স্কিল খুব আমাদের জরুরি, আমাদের খুব প্রয়োজনীয়, and those skills are called productive skill, right? Productive, that is writing. We communicate by writing, right? And sometimes we communicate by speaking. So speaking and writing are productive skills. That means we produce language when we speak, we produce language when we write. And other two skills are called receptive. Now, so far your syllabus or question pattern or marks division are concerned, two things come up for discussion, right? Now, reading in your syllabus carries 50 marks, and writing in your syllabus carries 20 marks. And apart from that, for project which also involves a lot of writing, so if you do not know the system of reading, how to read a text, you cannot acquire skill, that is reading skill. And you have to develop your reading skill because you have to comprehend a lot of things in your academic life as well as in your real life. So reading skill is very important. And then writing skill. Now today let us first talk about reading skill. Now let me know first the types of reading, right? I discussed it in the previous class. Types of reading. Please let me know the types of reading. Remember and respond. I think some of you can remember that we discussed different types of reading in our previous class, right? Scanning, skimming, and intensive reading, right? Scanning means reading very quickly something for specific information, right? Skimming means reading something but not so quickly for a general idea of a text. And intensive reading means thorough reading, thorough, T-H-O-R-O-U-G-H. Thorough reading means detailed reading, detailed. You have to read between the lines to have a total understanding of the text, right? To have a total understanding of the text. So slow reading, fast reading, right? We all initially read something for specific information or a general idea of the text. But my suggestion is you should read a text, be it a prose piece, be it a poem, or be it a tale from Shakespeare, that is rapid reader part, right? You should read it after all thoroughly. Is it clear? If you have any question, if you cannot follow me, please ask. Now here is a diagram to help you understand the system of reading, right? Now you see in the diagram a text, right? The lines you imagine have the text, contain the text, right? Now A and B point, right? Or B to A point. Now there are two methods, A to B. When you start reading a text, you are at A point, And then when you come down to the end of the text, that is B point, bottom, so top to bottom, your movement is top to bottom. It is called top down method. Just the reverse. When you get back to the beginning of the text from the end, it is called bottom up reading, bottom up reading. Now, top down method involves scanning, skimming, right? And to a certain extent, intensive reading. But when you reverse the method, that is, you move from bottom to the top, that means from the end to the beginning of the text, it exclusively involves intensive reading. That means you are reading the text thoroughly, you are interacting with the text, you are very slow, you are slowly reading the text, you are thinking over some points, you are trying to understand particular ideas, and finally you want to get to the heart of the text. That means you want to have a total or complete understanding of the text. So far your syllabus is concerned. Now let me help you understand, or let me relate it to marks division or question pattern. Now, what is the question pattern? You have got to deal with first MCQ question. Now, if you read the text thoroughly, after all, you can spot where the answer lies for MCQ questions. So for MCQ questions, you need scanning, right? You need specific information. Scanning, and you have to identify or mark the areas in the text for MCQ question. Again, there is SAQ question. You, while reading the text, have to spot or mark the question areas, that is, areas for SAQ questions. And again, you do not know which part of the text you will need to answer a particular essay type or board type question. And this question particularly demands your thorough understanding or thorough knowledge or thorough acquaintance with the text. Otherwise, you cannot use relevant points in your answer. So, what I want to mean, you have to read a certain text thoroughly so far the question pattern is concerned. And one thing you should remember, now until your Madhyamik exam, you were in a comfort zone. Comfort zone means the question paper contained the text. That means a prose piece or a poem accompanied the question paper for scene reading comprehension, right? But it is for the first time. You will not get any text with the question paper. So you have to answer questions, be it MCQ, be it SAQ, short answer type, or broad type or essay type. You have to answer all these questions from your memory. That means you have to memorize. You have to memorize the information which you get in the text. And then, depending on your memory, or the store of your textual information, you have to answer certain questions. That's why you should change your attitude to reading, or you should change the system or the method of reading. That's why I discuss these points relating to reading. So now you think reading is a skill and it needs thorough reading, it needs your full attention, adequate attention. This is what I say in connection with the question pattern. But apart from the question pattern, that is textual question answers, this part, you have to answer textual grammar. That's why when you are reading a text, you have to take note of vocabulary items and structures which will help you in the grammar part, in the writing part as well, because you need both grammar and vocabulary for communication in either writing or by speaking. That's why you should keep these points while reading a certain text. Well, let me explain. First, you try to understand why I refer to all these concepts or terms. Rote learning. Most of the students or most of you are in the habit of committing something to memory or memorize, in the habit of memorizing something without understanding it, right? So rote learning means memorizing a piece or something without understanding it. It is called rote learning. Now, at the HS level, if you still stick to rote learning, then you will find yourself in a difficult situation. So you should give up rote learning. What then have you got to do? You should now shift to interactive learning. Means when you are reading a text, you take note of vocabulary items, structures, ideas, take note of them, take help from your teachers or somebody else to understand the text thoroughly, to reinforce or to strengthen your knowledge of grammar, to improve your vocabulary, so that you can write something. That means write an answer or answer a question on your own. Means you can use your own English. Maybe you will make mistakes, but that does not matter. So those who depend on memory completely without any understanding confront difficult situations, particularly when they do not get questions common in the exam hall, right? And in real life, you do not know. It is unpredictable. বাস্তব জীবনেও আমরা জানি না কখন তোমাকে কোথায় কি বিষয়ে কিভাবে তোমাকে কি জন্য কমিউনিকেট করতে হবে ইংরেজিতে। সো ইউ নিড, দ্যাটস ওয়াই আই সে স্কিল, and skill comes from not only rote learning. Rote learning has a role to play, but you will get skill if you follow interactive learning. That means if you try to understand the text with help from the teachers or somebody else, if you concentrate on the points in the text to develop your knowledge of grammar, to improve your vocabulary, that means you are in the process of being able to communicate in writing or in speaking on your own, means independently. So you need for that reason skill, and this is how you should read a text. Now our last point in today's discussion is relation between reading skill and writing skill, right? Now initially we learn any language by listening, right? We hear people around speaking in that language, and thereby we pick up bits of that language. This is how our learning a language begins. We receive language, right? So through listening, we receive language. And when we speak, we produce language. This is the system of communication, right? Now, as for reading and writing, there is a close relation. Why I make this point? Because many of you are under the impression that only grammar or sound knowledge of grammar can help you communicate well. But it is not right observation, right? Now, we can write better if we read authentic texts, means if we read good pieces of literature. Now, at this level, you need not read voraciously because you have other subjects to take care of, right? If you confine yourself to your textbooks, I think if you read those pieces attentively, carefully, thoroughly, with all the pieces of advice I have given you in mind, I think you can transfer those things to your writing area. Let me explain. When you are reading a text, you get new words. If you are very serious, you will note them, you will write them down in your diary. And when you are writing, first of all, you need ideas, and to express your ideas, to share your ideas, you need words. And for most of the students, vocabulary is a great source of trouble, right? So, reading a text helps you improve your vocabulary. And when you read something, you get ideas. Maybe some of the ideas you may find useful when writing something, right? That's why I say there is a close relation or link between reading and writing. So, read something seriously, attentively, thoroughly, take notes of useful points, ideas. First, You have to do that for your reading part in the syllabus. But keep in mind that what you do in the reading part may be helpful or useful in the writing part. So all you have got to do is to read a text the way I suggest. Do not depend on rote learning. Try to understand the text. Try to get the points in the text. Memorize them. Even note the sentences or structures. You can use them when you are trying to write your answers on your own, or you are writing something else which is in your writing part. If you do not understand, please ask.